Hello participants, welcome to this lecture on fundamental theories behind machine learning. So in the previous lectures you understood what is machine learning, and here we are going to look upon the theoretical concepts which are actually governing the concept of machine learning. So when we talk about machine learning, you need to understand that it is coming from the conventional old concepts of mathematics, statistics, which is actually embedded into a computer with the help of a programming language. So if you want to understand machine learning as a concept, you need to touch upon a bit of mathematics, a bit of statistics, which is primarily probability theory, and then apply those concepts with the help of a syntax of a programming language to develop a machine learning program. So let's understand what kind of theories are actually governing this machine learning process. So Ada Lovelace came up with this wonderful quote: "The analytical engine weaves algebraic patterns just as the jacquard weaves flowers and leaves." The point here is the computer that you are creating, the program that you are creating, is actually the analytical engine which is weaving the algebraic patterns that are available, which are hidden inside the data sets. So whatever data that you get, actually you are trying to find hidden patterns from it. And the analytical engine actually helps you to find those hidden patterns, that is algebraic patterns, because everything is numbers here. This is where we come to the point of mathematics. So when you talk of machine learning, it's mathematics everywhere. So Ada Lovelace, one of the founders of the computing and perhaps the first computer programmer, realized that anything in the world could be described with mathematics. More importantly, this meant a mathematical formula can be created to derive the relationship representing any phenomenon. So anything in this world, you can represent it with the help of numbers, and there should be an equation which can connect those numbers. That equation is actually denoting the relationship between those numbers. That's what Ada Lovelace mentioned. Ada Lovelace realized that machines had the potential to understand the world without the need for human assistance. This is where the intelligence factor comes into picture. So Ada believed that machines can be intelligent and they can do things, they have the potential to do things without any human assistance. So around 200 years later, after Ada Lovelace has mentioned, today we are taking those theories as the fundamentals for the critical machine learning process. No matter what the problem is, be it the weather forecast, or be it the traffic problem, or be it the attrition analytics, or be it understanding the stock market, any information can be plotted onto a graph as data points. That's what is the fundamental principle of this whole machine learning. Anything you can look at it in the form of proper data in the form of numbers, and those numbers can be plotted in the graphs. Even the sentimental analysis, that is popularly known as analyzing the brand value. Like for example, we are all commenting in Twitter, Facebook and all the stuff, right? Actually, there is a way to analyze the kind of sentiments about a brand. Let's say for example, if I ask you the basic question, is Narendra Modi the most popular prime minister of this country? You will have divided opinion, right? So that divided opinion will be there in the social media everywhere, isn't it? Actually, with the help of machine learning algorithms, you can calculate and find out statistically whether he is the most popular prime minister of the country or not, based on all the opinions that are gathered. Look at the fact here. The data that you are having is actually text. You are entering comments, you are posting about it. It is a mix of text, facts which are numbers, statistics which are numbers, images. There are a lot of different data types that are available when you are sharing data in the social media. But there is a way for me to convert all these data types into numbers and then look at those numbers from the mathematical point of view, statistical point of view, and then put it across in the form of a graph. And in the graph, I'll be able to look at them as data points and then try to understand the pattern in it. Of course, I am simplifying this whole concept for you at a very high level with a lot of abstraction just to make you understand in this lecture. The deeper you dive, you will realize what kind of complications that would come up in this process. So machine learning actually tries to find the mathematical patterns from the data that you have collected and the relationships which are hidden within this original information. This is where the machine learning plays a role. So mathematics everywhere is the first philosophy you should not forget when you talk about machine learning. The next one is probability. What is probability? Thomas Bayes mentions that probability is an orderly opinion. It is an inference from the data. It's nothing other than the revision of such opinion in the light of relevant new information. So whatever data that you have, can you infer more about it? Can you see the data in the availability of a new information that may come in? So all these are coming under probability. So Thomas Bayes founded ideas that are essential in the probability theory that actually manifested into machine learning process. So probability theory, we live in a probabilistic world, isn't it? Everything that happens around us, there is a bit of certainty, there is a bit of uncertainty attached to it. So it's all probability everywhere. At what time you will get up tomorrow morning, you can't say things for sure. There is a probability is attached to it. Sometimes it may be 100%, sometimes it may be 0%. So there is a probability associated with every action that we do. When will this COVID situation end? We do not know. There is a probability associated with it. The Bayesian interpretation of probability is what machine learning is based on. So Bayesian probability means that we think of probability as quantifying the uncertainty of an event. There is an uncertainty involved. You are trying to measure what is that uncertainty with the help of the probability concepts. So we have to use our probabilities on the information available about an event rather than just counting the number of repeated trials. Because the moment I say probability, what we studied during the school days is nothing but conducting experiments, isn't it? You keep on conducting the experiments, you are trying to measure the results, and you keep count of the number of trials that you have done, and you are trying to compute what is the final probability given this event, that event. That's how you do it. But here it's all about adding more information, understanding more information about an event so that you are able to predict the probability in a much better way. For example, when predicting a football match, instead of counting the total amount of times Manchester United has won against Liverpool, the Bayesian approach of probability would be to use relevant information such as what is their current form, their league, how are they placed, what is the starting team, weather, the kind of players who are playing. All these factors would have a role to play when it comes to predicting today's result when the match is played, isn't it? You just don't go blindly about how they played earlier and without looking at the number of data points, the different data points that are available for your analysis. So this is where the Bayesian approach forms the fundamentals for machine learning. You need to look at the bigger picture, you need to have more data points and look at the relationship between the data points and then come to a conclusion whether this particular event would occur or not. That is, whether it will be a win for Manchester United or not. If I have to go back to this attrition analytics example, same way, I will look at multiple variables, I'll look at the relationship between the variables, I'll look at when the event is occurring and how those variables are playing a role in an occurrence of the event. I will consider all these factors before coming to a conclusion whether this employee will leave the organization for this reason. So this is where the Bayesian approach forms the fundamentals. I would strongly advise you to learn probability, determinants, matrices, because that's the statistical part, and understand the algorithms statistically. When you do all these three, and when you are thorough with it, as an additional knowledge if you gain, these are the entry steps to the coding world of machine learning. Then comes the concepts of programming languages like Python, R, C++, Java. All these programming languages you can use to build a prediction model, but the concepts will come from mathematics, probability, and whatever that we have studied so far. So coming back to the Bayesian approach, the benefit of taking this approach is that probabilities can still be assigned to rare events, as the decision making process is based on relevance of features and the reasoning behind it. This is where it makes a difference. So Bayesian approach is the fundamental element for machine learning which you should not ignore. I hope you have understood the machine learning theories, the fundamental theories which are governing the machine learning process. I hope you are able to connect the dots and appreciate the kind of logic that goes into it. Thank you for your time today. We'll connect again in the next lecture. Thank you very much.